All right, guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Union podcast here. I'm Zero. Thank you so much for listening. And this episode, we're going to talk about, do the Union have a shot at winning MLS Cup? And the short answer is yes, but I'd like to elaborate on that a little bit more after I talk about a few other things. So, coming off of a 2-1 win against San Jose, which honestly we got a bit lucky because the penalty call in the end was overturned. Aurelian Collin taking down the player in the box, and it could have been a penalty. It could have gone either way. We got lucky. It wasn't a penalty. We won 2-1. This man, Kasper Trabilko, scored again, getting the game winner. Bedoya getting a goal as well, our captain. Trabilko's been nothing short of fantastic since coming up this season. This is a guy who was signed last year, didn't play at all, and who wasn't even really in the plans at the beginning of this season. It was Corey Burke, and we were looking for another striker. Corey Burke had the visa issues, and he couldn't play anymore. So Trabilko had to come in, and he's never looked back. The guy has, I think, 15 goals, a couple of assists. He's been amazing in like 25 games. It's crazy. And let's face it, Andrew Wooten has been quite useless since coming in. I was excited about having Wooten on the team, but he just has not lived up to it. Like, our bigger names aren't playing well. Wooten and Marco Fabian are two big names on the team, and let's face it, they aren't even performing. Like, if you go to the stats, it's crazy. Like, Wooten hasn't even scored yet. Fabian's, to be fair, Fabian's had his moments. He certainly has shown up in some games. That's the problem. Some games. Player like that, we need him to be consistent. You see, these are our top scorers here. Trabilko with 15, Meduninen having a fantastic season, still 10 assists. Fabian does have 6 goals to be second on our team, but it's not enough. He doesn't even have enough assists. He has maybe 1 or 2 assists. Montero continues to impress. He's now got 9 assists on the year. Of course, Ilsinho's been fantastic picking up the load. Bedoya's chipped in goals. Pico's chipped in goals. Wagner has 8 assists. So it's by committee, which I like, but we need that second go-to goal scorer because Trabilko can't do it all on his own. Sergio Santos has a few goals. Other guys have a few goals, but no one's been consistent. If Pico could have been more consistent, or if Fabian could get on the score sheet more often, it'd be nice. Aronson's been a nice surprise too. He's come up as a rookie and played very, very well. 3 goals and a couple assists for him. So it's we can win the cup, guys, with this team if everything goes right for us. We need the defense to be healthy. We need McKenzie to get back. I don't know why Curtin's given up on Austin Trusty. I know he had a run of rough games, but Aurelian Collin, every time he plays, something goes wrong. It's just, he almost gave up that penalty last game, and he just does not look. We're very shaky with him in the back. I cringe every time he gets the ball because he either gives it away or he plays it long to no one in particular. Some of our center backs need to be a little bit better about their distribution. That's where they need to be better. I think our best distributor from the back is actually Mark McKenzie. He seems most composed on the ball, him and Jack Elliott. Trusty definitely needs to work on that too, but Aurelian Collin as well. I know he's a veteran player. He can win stuff in the air, but he's slow in the back, and he's a bit of a liability, to be honest. But he puts together a few good games here, and as I'm going to comment in here, he puts in a few good games. You never know. I mean, he could be a big player for us in the playoffs, Colin. You never know. He could come with a big goal. He could, have a really good performance on defense. That's what I'm hoping for. But we need everyone to be healthy if we're going to make a run at the Cup. I mean, this team continues to impress me. You look at the standings. We still have a shot at first place. It's an outside shot, and we're probably not going to get there. But we'd have to win our last 2 games in New York City. We'd have to lose their last 2, which is possible because we go to Columbus next, who aren't having a very good season. We play them tomorrow. We got to be thinking we're going to go there and look for 3 points to keep ourselves in the race. So if we can beat them, and New England, who's playing for their playoff lives, beat NYC at home, hopefully they do, then our last game was actually against NYC at home, which would be for first place. How crazy of a game would that be? If NYC loses tomorrow, we win tomorrow, we just have to beat them at home in the final game, and boom, first place and a playoff bye is ours. Can you believe that? That we're still in the talks for first place with 2 games left. People thought we were going to fall. I thought we would fall down to maybe 4th, 5th, something like that eventually. But nope, we've just stayed up here. I mean, I still don't think we're going to finish first. That's a lot to ask in these last 2 games. But main part is for us to stay ahead of Atlanta, because I do not want to play them in the playoffs and have to go and have to have them have the home field advantage. It's important that we have the home field advantage over a team like Atlanta. So we got to stay above them. You know, catching NYC it's a big gamble in these last 2 games, but it could happen. But the main thing is to just stay ahead of Atlanta. DC's up there. You can see everyone's clinched in the East except for New England. I still think New England's going to get in. They're too talented. They got Bruce Arena at the helm. They're going to get in. They're going to be a dangerous team when they get in. So, the one team I'd want to play out of this group is DC United. We've obviously put down a few good beatings on them. That's probably the one team that I'd want to play the most. DC United. Maybe the Red Bulls. I don't know. I mean, Red Bulls are always tough in the playoffs, I feel like. But that's where it's at right now. Got a good chance of, well, we definitely going to have a first round home field games, so that's important. But these knockout games are going to be crazy. Because right now we'd be playing New England in the playoffs, and it's a scary game, to be honest. I don't want to play them. But it looks like it's setting up it could be that way. If we drop to 3rd, we could be playing a team like Toronto, which is scary as well, because they have some talented players I don't want to face. So it's, you know, if we can get up to first place, get that first round bye, it would be huge. But you never know. New England could still move up, you know, or, you know, if they don't make it, Chicago could jump up there. And, well, actually, honestly, I'd rather play Chicago than New England, but we'll see what happens here. But New England's probably going to get in. We just need to stay focused on trying to stay ahead of Atlanta right now, in case we run into them. You see the Western Conference, LAFC, Galaxy have found their form, and they're up there. They're going to be dangerous in the playoffs. Minnesota United look very good. I don't think enough people have talked about how good they've been. San Jose is battling. I mean, it's a race in this section here for these playoff spots here. So one of these teams is going to be left out. Seattle's in. Of course, Seattle's always in the playoffs. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this team. The fact that they're in this position, a position of unknown depths before for this club. Can they follow it up by making a run in the playoffs? They don't have to win MLS Cup. Yes, it would be amazing, and it would be disappointing if they don't, but it's not like they have to. They have to at least get to another round of the playoffs and win a round, and maybe even make the semifinals and give a good run at that. That's all I want. I just want this team to perform well in the playoffs. Don't go in the playoff game and one of these knockout games and lose like 2-0, and then that's that. That'd be the biggest disappointment, the biggest waste of a season ever, because you have this talented team. You put together a fantastic season. You have a great home record here. 10 wins, just 2 losses, 4 draws. It's a fantastic home record. We've won 6 on the road, which is one of the tops in the league. It's actually tied for second, tied for second most wins on the road in the league, only behind LAFC. So we've gotten results on the road, which has been huge for us, including the last game against San Jose. We need another one against Columbus next. So that's where this team can win the cup. We can win the cup. We just have to play our game. We have to stay healthy, and we need some home field games. We need home field above a team like Atlanta. NYC, nobody wants to play in their stadium. They don't even really have a real field. I hate playing there. Their field's no bigger than my bedroom, and they have some divers on their team, and they're a very frustrating team to play against. So I don't want to play them, but it looks like if they finish first, it's going to be running through their stadium. I mean, that it would just be so annoying to see, important games hosted in their stadium. I mean, at least with Atlanta, you got like a big field, big stadium, great atmosphere there. Not that NYC fans have a bad atmosphere. They have a great atmosphere there. It's not the fans. It's just the field needs to be, they need a real stadium, or at least to play their games somewhere else. I get that they want to play in downtown NYC, but it's just a very annoying field to play on. It probably is for their players too, to some degree, but they're used to it because they play there all the time. But let's not make this about NYC's stadium plans here. Let's just talk about the Union and just focus on beating Columbus and just hoping for the best between the New England NYC game. I'll be keeping an eye on both of those as of tomorrow. I'm off work, so I can watch these games as they unfold. There's a lot of games on at 2 o'clock here tomorrow. See, Atlanta's also playing at 2, so I got to keep an eye on that game as well before decision day. We got tons of games tomorrow. Galaxy play tomorrow. But this one, I'll be watching this one, keeping an eye on these two. And, you kind of want to keep an eye on this Red Bulls DC one's pretty big, because those two are playing for home field as well. That's a huge game. Toronto's got Chicago. Chicago playing for there. I mean, there's some big games tomorrow with implications on playoff pieces and, your positioning in the standings. So it should be a lot of fun. But overall, this team just continues to put out results and just impress me. But it needs to be cupped by a good run in the playoffs. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. Because some of these players are getting older. Meduninen, Ilsinho, not going to be around that much longer. Luckily, we have a lot of good young players and players in their prime. We got Trabilko in his prime, Montero in his prime now. We got youngsters like Kai Wagner, Brendan Aronson, Jack Elliott, Mark McKenzie, Austin Trusty, Anthony Fontana. The list goes on. So we have a team with good veterans and good youngsters. It's a good mix. And Curtin seems to be pressing the right buttons here to get this team where they need to be. So playoff time's coming. I'm so excited, but there's still a lot of work to be done here in the regular season. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. And we'll be doing another one of these, hopefully talking about how well we're doing in the playoffs this season. Hopefully it's not, the next episode of this isn't me disappointed and angry at them losing early on in the playoffs, because that would be very, very sad. I really want this team to do well. I care so much about them. I always look forward to watching every game. I'm pumped up. And I'm a huge Philadelphia sports fan in general. Like, I love watching all my teams. The Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers. Love them. And the Union, for some reason, I get more pumped up to watch them than any of the others. So, see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much yet again for listening. Until next time, 0 is the number.